Imagine you are sitting at dinner and you notice the person's watch beside you. It is an authentic Patek Philippe Nautilus, one of the most recognizable luxury watches in the world. Then you realize, through closer observation, it is not ticking. You ask about it and it is revealed the watch needs a battery. Now here's the question I want to ask you. Do you still wear the watch in public because of what it represents? Or do you wait until the battery is replaced and it is fully working before wearing it? The question is not about the watch, but it is about us. At what point does showing up as your future self become growth? And at what point does it depict performance, bold opinions, real evidence, and lasting impact? This is Rod's Scholarly Opinion. I am your host, Rodney McNeil, where we break down the real issues shaping our world through a lens that is opinionated, yet grounded in credible evidence and critical thought. The line between confidence and performance is getting harder to distinguish between in a world where everything is visible, but not everything is real. Today, I want to argue something simple. Performance becomes a problem when identity outruns reality. Confidence encourages us to grow into who we can become. Performance, on the other hand, tempts us to project who we hope others will believe we already are. Those two ideas may look similar from the outside, but psychologically and ethically they are very different. I'm talking about our external image and the things we include in our presentations that are status symbols. Well-crafted watches like Audemars are designed to be durable, sporty, and prestigious, which is showcased in its aesthetic. Before anyone asks for the time, they notice the technical mastery, the brand, and what it communicates. Luxury watches communicate different things to different people. For some, they represent engineering, craftsmanship, and the generations of Swiss watchmaking. For others, they symbolize achievement, financial success, or personal milestones. Whatever meaning someone attaches to it, one thing is certain: people notice the watch before they ask what time it is. That's what makes this metaphor so relatable. We often notice appearance before function, image before substance, and presentation before competence. Social media functions much like that luxury watch. Before people know your work ethic, your values, or your character, they see your profile, they see your photos, your accomplishments, your job title, your followers, and your curated moments. Much like the watch, the presentation becomes the first impression. When we create profiles on LinkedIn or Instagram, we intentionally project our best work, achievements, and milestones. That is not being deceptive if we are using these sites as digital portfolios. Employers, clients, and collaborators look for people who present themselves professionally. But when does showcasing your strengths become a created identity that no longer reflects reality? Some examples are: a new entrepreneur posts photos to make their business appear bigger than it is. Someone labels themselves an expert after one class. How about a creator buying followers or engagement to appear influential? What about a professional sharing success without discussing their learning process? Notice how the product or person involved in these models did not change. The audience perception is the variable undergoing change. Are we presenting our best selves or a character that we hope people will believe in? Sounds like a case of fake it till you make it, which is rooted in behavioral activation theory. Let's break down this theory. In simple terms, behavioral activation theory means doing things is the best way to feel better. Psychologist B.F. Skinner proposed it is an operant condition, or the belief that someone learns through rewards and punishments. Now it is used as psychotherapy to treat depression and anxiety. Depression is linked to feelings that make a person want to hide away and stop doing things. Behavioral motivation says do things that will make you happy, although you are not happy, and you will become happy. Usually, we like to feel good about something we are going to do. Then we are motivated to take action. Instead, behavioral theory flips the equation. First, do the thing you are not confident in doing. This will motivate you to feel good about it. This is closely related to self-perception theory, which is looking at your own actions to figure out how you feel. A better way to put it is, if you are unsure about something, you look at your recent actions toward it, and your actions determine your real attitude about the matter. For example, I ate my bowl of banana pudding ice cream fast. so I must really like it. Another important psychological concept is Albert Bandura's theory of self-efficacy. Self-efficacy is a person's belief that they can successfully accomplish a specific task. According to Bandura, the strongest source of confidence is not positive thinking, it is mastery experiences. In other words, confidence grows from repeatedly doing difficult things successfully. That means competence and confidence work together. The more capable you become, the more confident you naturally develop. Confidence is not something you convince yourself to have. It is something you earn through experience. The thought behind fake it till you make it is performance-based. You might not feel confident about what you are going to do, so you act your way into confidence. That's like speaking in public before you feel ready, posting content about a topic before you feel like a credible expert, or taking on responsibility above your comfort. At this point, you might be wondering, is this the method successful people tell us to use? Step outside of your comfort zone. Act with confidence even when you do not feel confident. The answer is yes, but there is an important distinction. Confidence is the belief in yourself that you can meet challenges in life successfully in a willing manner. It is measurable in the sense of what you can do. Do you have the skills and tools to accomplish a task? If not, can you assess the situation, develop, and try again? Confidence is shaped by experience. If a football player bench presses 225 pounds, he will approach the same weight with belief that he can do it again. It is less about feeling ready and more about knowing that I did it before and I can do it again. Someone realistically judging their capabilities can act confidently because they will make the correct decision. Arrogance overgauges true skill, leading to poor choices and unforeseen consequences. If confidence is built through action and performance is built through image, the difference is whether you are growing your ability or just managing perception. Performance becomes a problem when identity outruns reality. This is unhealthy when the image is fully developed. There is a thought out and intentional element to the adopted behaviors, the speech patterns and traits that differ from your true self. This person has developed the style, vibe, mannerisms, and says the right words for the moment. Faking it to make it is a persona or a mask for public presentation. In private, their watch does not tick, meaning they have not built the skill of whatever they are trying to portray. They lack the substance and the depth to execute the abilities that go along with the perceived image. They do not possess competence, the ability to do something successfully and efficiently. Showing competence in something takes knowledge, experience, skills, and behavior. These things empower a person to effectively do a task well, much like someone reading fluently. Look at it as having a battery in a watch to make it tick. No matter when you look down at the watch's hand, it moves. This is repetition, which is another factor that proves you can do this task repeatedly. On the other hand, no pun intended, repeatedly having to protect the image instead of building the ability is exhaustive. Too much effort is spent maintaining an image and less energy is put toward growth. Psychologically, this draws connection to impression management, controlling how others see you. So what is being controlled exactly? The exchange of information through social interaction, like an individual tailoring their words, actions, and appearance to develop an image that achieves personal or professional outcomes. It is nothing wrong with dressing professionally for a job interview and highlighting traits that align with the job's description. Exuding confidence in those moments could make employers see this person as the ideal candidate. In another way, being seen in the most exclusive hotels, restaurants, or parties while wearing high fashion brands could come off as this person has money and an expensive taste. Who knows the true reason behind the display behavior, but the person doing it? There could be an internal struggle with who they are versus who they show themselves to be. Cognitive dissonance. In view of the public, an individual might look like a health guru, whether they are juicing or going vegan. A healthy body is a wealthy body, and the risks associated with meat will not harm me, is what they will tell everyone. But within the privacy of their home, they could be shamefully eating double cheeseburgers with fries. The conflicting actions might be downplayed by the excuse of being stressed out and this food gives me comfort. We now live in a culture where visibility is rewarded faster than mastery. Recognition might arrive before readiness. Followers can follow before expertise. Influence can grow before wisdom. This does not always happen before people are intentionally deceptive. It is because digital platforms reward attention. Algorithms cannot measure integrity or competence. They measure engagement. Human beings naturally seek validation. We all want to belong. We want our work to matter. We want to know we are seen and appreciated. The problem begins when validation becomes more valuable than development. Anyone or group of people that validates something is giving their approval and recognition about what they perceive as acceptable. Are you trying to catch the eyes of a brand to collaborate if you consistently post wearing their clothes, shades, or shoes? Are you trying to catch the attention of your crush by posting sexy and appealing content that you know they will like or comment on? Both examples are forms of validation for two different reasons, characterized by organized content for a specific audience and result. Let's say you get the validation you are looking for based on perception. What happens when perception spreads faster than the truth? Public opinion on social media dictates real-world behavior. First impressions are important because it is the first piece of information the brain receives. It will be difficult to change a formed opinion or viewpoint once it is mentally anchored. From there, users on social media will look for posts and content to support their initial thoughts about you and what they comprehend to be true. Even if other posts contradict their judgment, it is ignored because it is fixed in the mind. They do not know you, your personality, traits, or energy you have in face-to-face interaction. There is no real context or explanation for what they see on social media. It makes sense to present a highly professional profile because it will cause viewers to believe you are intelligent and possess other positive traits. As a digital citizen, your digital footprint does not fade, and the narrative surrounding you is fed by the algorithm. So, if someone looks ready, they can outperform being ready in a shorter amount of time. People have learned that the algorithm on social media rewards content that elicits emotion. If my look makes people feel I am ready, then they will validate me and I will get the opportunity I am seeking. The risk is building recognition before you are ready to take on the responsibilities associated with what you desire. Recognition is a wonderful thing when it is supported by preparation, but when recognition arrives before readiness, success can become overwhelming. Opportunities often expose the skills we failed to develop in private. So where is the line? I believe there is a healthy middle ground between confidence and performance. Do not wait until you are perfect before you begin. If you do, you will probably never start. But do not build an identity around abilities you have not yet developed. Growth requires courage and credibility requires substance. The healthiest path is to let those two grow together. Confidence is a trainable skill, and it grows through action and experience. To master skills in an area of your choice, set goals and then put forth action to achieve them. Then you might tell me, these things are easily said but not easily done. I get it. You might need some motivation to get moving toward your goals. I am not one to encourage you or anyone to live indirectly through somebody else's experiences, but watching someone accomplish similar tasks of interest could motivate you to believe you can do it as well. Life is not meant to be lived by yourself. On our journey, we can get help through mentors, feedback, and encouragement from peers. One of the most important steps is effectively managing thoughts and feelings. There will be days when you do not feel good or excited about what you are doing. There will be moments where everything that can go wrong does go wrong. You must learn how to perform under pressure and take on challenges. This produces character and builds skills based on endurance. Do not perform a false identity because you are impatient and want fast results. Taking on the role of a facade will be the identity you will collapse under. Even professional actors understand they must take time to decompress and live real lives beyond the big screen. There is an insurmountable amount of stress that comes with playing a role every second of your life. Factor in the possibility of feeling imposter syndrome at some point, and there will be a range of emotions to sort through, from fear of being labeled as a fraud to an eroding self-worth. Social media is not a bad place to build, but building in public is not a fabrication of your completion. Share your progress and not illusion. Your position and status, accompanied by your skills and abilities, have a story of trial and error and learning from mistakes. Those stories are relatable because members in your audience are going through the same things. Act slightly ahead of your confidence, not miles beyond your competence, meaning you must start somewhere to build your skills and confidence, but never sell yourself above the level of your ability. Presentation itself is not the problem. Every professional presents themselves intentionally. Authors design attractive book covers. Corporations create polished websites. Speakers show up in suits depicting professional attire. And job applicants submit carefully written cover letters and resumes. That is not faking it, but it is communicating a level of respect for their expertise in the work they do. Again, the issue is not presentation. It is whether the presentation is supported by substance. Let's go back to the watch that started today's conversation. There was never anything wrong with polishing it. There was never anything wrong with appreciating its craftsmanship. The problem was not appearance. The problem was forgetting to make sure it kept time. The same principle applies to us. Present yourself professionally, refine your skills, dress well, and build your brand. But never spend so much time polishing your image that you neglect the work that gives it meaning, because confidence is strengthened by competence and credibility is earned through consistency. So, I will leave you with one final thought. Act slightly ahead of your confidence, but never miles beyond your competence. Does your elegant presentation accurately represent what you are building? Let's keep the conversation going on in the comments and share this episode with family and friends. This has been another episode of Rod's Scholarly Opinion, where we challenge perspectives, demand evidence, and speak on what truly matters. I am Rodney McNeil. Stay informed, stay critical, and I will catch you on the next one.